Tactical Command, we are inbound on final approach. I say again, inbound on final.
Welcome to the New York State Police exhibit. If I can draw your attention to the man standing on the roof in the center of the tower, he is our host for this show. South Central's team leader, Sergeant Eric Ozzy Osborne.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 12 of the Great New York State Fair. Appreciate you folks coming out to join us. I especially appreciate those of you that sat through that K-9 demonstration for no other reason than to secure prime seats for this. Best show at the exhibit, guaranteed not to give you fleas. We are SORT. SORT is the tactical element for the New York State Police. As such, we conduct all those operations you would expect a SWAT team to conduct. High-risk felony warrants, drug raids, barricaded subjects, hostage situations, dignitary protection. However, we also perform a few tasks you wouldn't necessarily associate with a SWAT team, such as search and rescue, to include high-angle rappelling and rope rescue, which is what we're going to demonstrate here today. Our team was formed back in 1979 in anticipation of the 1980 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid. We took a bunch of firearms instructors, most of whom were veterans, and they were trained by the FBI in counterterrorism tactics. They were called the Mobile Response Team, and they had 3 teams spread out across the state. Throughout the years, we've undergone several evolutions, and in 2008, we changed our name to the Special Operations Response Team, added 2 teams, and went full-time. Our guys no longer work the road. Each of the 5 teams that are spread out across the state are responsible for maintaining their own equipment, all the way from the large pieces, like that Lenco Bearcat, the armored vehicle and truck in the grass over there, all the way down to our individual climbing harnesses. On the front of each guy's harness, you're going to see a piece of equipment we call the Figure 8. This is our descent device. The rope is fed through that. That top hand on the rope is just a guide hand, keeps us upright. This one back down here by our hip, that's a money maker, that's our brake hand. As we move that hand away from the hip, it allows the rope to freely flow through that device. That's when we let gravity do its job, and we refer to that as letting her eat. Once we bring it back towards our hip, puts friction on that device, slowing and eventually stopping us. But telling you is one thing, showing you is something different. So without further ado, let's bring the guy. Hold up. Sorry, dude, I totally forgot this part. No, not quite yet. Folks, Brandon's gonna serve as a a test subject, a volunteer for this next portion. No, it's gonna be great. So, you can see how we use that brake hand, like I said, and we feather that so we land safely and softly on either the roof or the turf. However, as the state fair progresses, our guys like to go ahead and entertain themselves up on that tower, and we've gone ahead and done a lot of slides by now. So those guys will move that rope a little bit further from their hip. They're gonna open that hand up a little bit wider than they should. Maybe make a little C grip or perhaps an L grip. But you're gonna notice that these ropes are gonna develop loops and twists throughout the show and throughout the fair. If you've got your hand open a little further than it should, and one of those twists hits your hand, that rope could pop out. You lose your brakes on a thruway, that's a bad day on the road, right? We lose our brakes up here, that's a bad day on the ropes. But that's what brings me to Sergeant Ordway. Ryan's not trying to be rude or antisocial. He's not showing his back to showcase his well-defined lats and traps. And hit the infirmary, get you a Band-Aid, brother, because you are cut. Cut. This audience or an oil painting? So anyway, Ryan, as our senior guy and ropes guru, has the most important yet not at all glamorous job of rope safety or belayment. If one of these guys coming down loses their brake hand, he's going to pull on that rope, putting friction on the device, slowing and hopefully stopping them. But again, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So Brandon's going to do us all a favor. He's going to take a couple steps back, he's going to get a running start, and he's going to throw himself off of that roof with no hands on the rope. He's going to flying squirrel it, hurtling towards the earth at an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second until at the very last moment, Sergeant Ordway, if he is physically able and so inclined, will use his raw power and cat-like reflexes to engage the belay, stopping Brandon mere moments from certain death, or at least a sprained ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, you paid for your whole seat. You're only going to need the edge. This part's going to be awesome. Brandon, are you ready? Oh. As police officers, we're trained to pick up on body language. That is not promising. Brandon, what's the matter, bud? Not feeling it. We are a paramilitary organization. You have been given a directive by competent authority. Come on down. He respectfully declines. That's all right, I guess. I won't take offense. Come on, dude. We got a belay. We're ready to go. What do you want?
Jump! Jump! Go ahead. Ryan's not even on the rope.
What?
That's not Ryan.
Ryan, what are you doing? You're encouraging. Yeah, you're supposed to be involved. Hold on, folks. I'm sorry. Just give us a second. Hello, how are you today? What's your name, sweetheart? Emma? All right, Emma, did he tell you what to do? Nothing. No instruction whatsoever, no guidance.
You want me to go down?
Hold the rope. Okay, well, yeah, that's a beginner's course. All right, so that's step one. He did tell you a little bit. There's only 2 steps, though. Step 1 is hold the rope. Step 2 is when Brandon jumps, you just pull on it. Okay? So he'll jump and you just pull on the rope. Right? No big deal. On the first bounce, second bounce, doesn't matter. At some point, pull on the rope. Everybody stops falling eventually. All right? Brandon, she's got suns out, guns out, got the shades on. The glare not bothering her. I'm feeling good. What are you feeling?
Still not feeling it. Still not feeling it.
Folks, I'm sorry. I know dead air is just the worst thing for showbiz, but I gotta have a sidebar with my colleague in private just for a second. Hey, Ryan. I know pushing him is an option. We got no one up there behind him. Listen, I don't care how this goes. We got 1 day left after this. A lot of guys to rotate through. But if he burns in and Emma's hands are on the rope and yours aren't, we're done with state fairs. Yeah. No more pizza free, no more Tully tenders. It's back to crack houses and meth labs, dude. That's awful, right? All right, so Ryan's found some motivation. He's gonna do his job. And if you can stand back there and cover him as well, we got 2. What do you say, Brandon?
Just tell my family I love them.
Well, we'll let him know. We'll let him know. All right, folks, let's give Brandon a little bit of encouragement, all right? Folks, help me count him down from 3. You ready? 3, 2, 1. That was a good one. Folks, we try to get him closer every show. Those of you that have been here a lot this fair know that when we started, Brandon was 6'2". And Emma, for making sure our guy didn't burn in. We have one State Police K9, courtesy of the NYST tent over there. Thank you very much. Let's hear it for our ballet. Nice job. All right, folks, as you saw by the end of that demonstration, it's real easy to end up in a precarious position. Gravity does not take an instant off. However, if you end up in a bad spot, as long as you keep your head, as long as you keep your cool, and most importantly, as long as you keep your brake hand, you're gonna be A-okay. So if you look all the way up top, we got Matt and Cole who are gonna come on down and demonstrate. All right, you saw those guys come down to that same standard seated hip rappel that everyone else used. But now they're gonna transition their brake hand from their right to their left. This is gonna allow them to go ahead and invert. So now even though they're upside down, as long as they maintain that newfound brake hand, they're not going to smash face first in this beautiful manicured turf. This is called the commando crawl. It allows our guys to see where they're going before they present their feet or other body parts through a window. But once they've gone far enough and seen all they feel they need to see, then go ahead and revert, reassume that brake hand, and come on down. Complete with a superhero landing. Ladies and gentlemen, the invert. As a side note, we did recruit these guys to the team directly from a synchronized swimming academy. See, all those hours in the pool have really paid off and they formed quite the bond. But, secret's out, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna hear a reoccurring theme out here, and that's safety. We're dealing with heights, we're dealing with extreme angles, we're dealing with hard and sharp edges. It's inherently dangerous. If somebody is rappelling, or rock climbing, or even hiking, it's possible that they could become stranded in a position where they can neither go up nor down. We have to have the means to go ahead and get to them. Ladders aren't necessarily going to reach high enough, and helicopters can be counterproductive. Those rotors don't do our ropes any favors, if you know what I'm saying. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Brandon, who's going to come on down and start our demonstration. Say Brandon's working his way down a sheer cliff face in the Adirondack Park, or perhaps Ithaca, because it is gorgeous. He gets himself to a spot he wants to be for a while. He's gonna take that rope, wrap it around his 8, not once, not twice, but thrice. This is called the tie-off. Once Brandon's tied off, he can go hands-free. He can invert. He can literally and figuratively hang out. He can get his cell phone out, snap a selfie, post it to his MySpace page. Anyone else still running MySpace? No? That explains my lack of messages. It's you and me, bro. But say Brandon's up there, and a rock kicks loose and hits him in the head. Or he gets a rain shower of some sort. Oh! He did catch that rock in the head, but he's got safety equipment on. So I'm gonna need a couple more rocks. Any kids available to help out? Yeah, don't worry about raising your hand. We're not that organized. School hasn't started yet, guys. Come on forward. No, don't throw real rocks. Holy cow, I love your intensity. That's amazing. I've never seen that before. See the rope that's there for your safety? Step over it, ignore it. Come on over. Grab yourself some water balloons, OSHA-approved rocks, and it's not enough for everybody, so if you don't get one, please don't cry. It breaks my heart. All right? You can hand out one or two, maybe. Come on. One each, guys. One each, and that's it, guys. So now close with and destroy. Go get them. Go get them, guys. Let them have it. Closer. I'm like 50-50 on that knot. I think it's going to work just fine. Seeing some good heat here.
Oh, look at that.
Checked it again. Uh-oh. That's it for the crowd. And let's hear it for our rocks, folks.
Hurry up. Grab them right there. Grab them right there.
All right, guys. That'll do. Let's hear it for our rocks.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out.
You hit him, buddy?
Just gonna crush it. Just gonna crush it and leave it. It's awesome. Brian, next year, lawn darts. Kids won't stick around for that. That cleanup's gonna be brutal. So now Brandon's been knocked unconscious, or at least stunned, but we can't leave him there. We had a lot of time and money invested in this training, and he owes me some pizza free. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Chris. Chris is gonna work his way down his line. He's gonna latch hands onto Brandon, and he's gonna hopefully bring them both safely to the ground. Come on down, Chris.
lies to myself.
Okay. All right.
How hard I'm trying to.
Choose all our own music out here. It's a bold choice for Chris. Obviously comfortable in his own skin. Chris, there's that body language again, folks. Wait, what's the matter, bud?
I'm not coming down here.
You're not coming down. This is not your selection?
No, this is ridiculous.
Ridiculous? Come on, man. What do you need?
Something with a little more spice.
Something with a little more spice, DJ DeRoshi. Yeah, a little more spice. He's a tactical diva, but he goes through doors like wet tissue paper, so we keep him. What do you got, DJ? Uh-oh, he's got some soul. Let's gauge Chris's reaction. All right, there he is. Chris has come around. Yeah. Sorry, folks, some things you can't unsee. I apologize. Now, as Chris L's out, you're going to see he's got a different piece of equipment on the front of his harness. He's not running a figure eight. He's running what's called a brake bar rack. That's going to allow him to take additional weight onto his system. In this case, that additional weight is going to be Brandon. Chris is going to stop slightly above Brandon, perform a tie-off. Once he's tied off, he's going to reach for that blue strap on his left hip. That's a pick-off strap designed specifically for rope rescue. That'll use a partial inversion and his impressive wingspan. Thank you, Vanna, to hook into Brandon's harness. Once Chris is hooked in, he'll use that strap and those bulging biceps he somehow shoehorns into an extra medium t-shirt. Large? Not in the men's section. You can see how Brandon instinctively reaches for Chris's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we ask no photos be taken. Thank you. Your view is much better than Brandon's right now. You can see his line has gone slack. Chris has already removed him from his system, undoing his tie-off, and hopefully lowering them both safely to the ground. It looks like he nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the pick-off. Can't do it smoother than that. Folks, we've gone over basic rappelling. We've gone over safety measures we have in place. We have covered a very small percentage of the rescue work that we are capable of. However, there is also a tactical application for the rappelling we're demonstrating here today. Say, for example, if they're a bad guy creeping around these fairgrounds. He snatches up a kid, goes up in that building, barricades the door shut. Horrible choice of location on his part, but I digress. He's got that door barricaded shut. He feels real confident we're not going to be able to breach it. Unfortunately for that bad guy, Special Operations Response Team doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. But before we do, we count on all our other partners in division. The men and the women that you see on these fairgrounds with the gray uniform and the Stetsons, those are the road troopers. That is the most important and dangerous job in division. They are the first responders on these chaotic scenes, locking them down, getting people to safety. Then they call in their supervisors, investigators, negotiators, and all our partners in the special operations, to include aviation and our brothers and sisters in the K-9. We poke fun back and forth a lot, but when it's game time, we work together to accomplish the mission. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Matt, who's ready to run the recon. Matt's careful to land very gently on that roof so no one hears him. He'll transition his brake hand, invert into a commando crawl, and then try to get eyes in those windows to confirm the location of our hostage and hostage taker. Whoa! That is not our target, Matt. Whatever it is aggressive and amorous. Get out of there, Matt. Swipe left, brother. Get out of there. We have the employee assistance program on speed dial for Matt. Now Matt's out of the real danger. He's working his way down to that second window. He's got eyes on. He's confirming our hostage and hostage taker are in fact in there. Now he reaches up on the right side of his harness for that canister. That's a noise flash diversion device, commonly referred to as a flashbang. That's going to emit a bright light and loud noise that distracts and disorients the suspect while we seize initiative. Looks like Matt's ready with the bang, and it looks like we're ready for Cole to effect the rescue. Cole's in the window. He's looking for the bad guy. There it comes Cole. He's got a knife. He disarms him. Gives him the people's elbow. Oh, look at that. Drives him to the ground. Now they're going to do some work on the... Oh, the folding chair. and into a pile driver, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Let me check he's okay, guys. Let's hear it for Cole. He's still undefeated champion against inanimate objects. Nice job, Cole. Yeah, how's Timmy doing though? Timmy, the kid, the reason you went in there, you had to save Timmy? There he is, another shave for Cole, folks. Let's hear it for him. He's a real hero, just ask him. Folks, hopefully you've had a good time with us out here today. Hopefully you can tell we have a good time. We love working on this awesome tower, interacting with you good people. The State Fair represents a real nice break for us. However, at the end of the day, it is a serious business. If you look along that roof line, we have 4 sets of numbers. Those are the shield numbers for Michael Street, Ross Riley, David Brinkerhoff, and Joseph Longobardo. Those 4 men were operators on our team who died in the line of duty. Actually, Joe Longobardo's 17th anniversary of his loss of duty death is today. Those guys gave their lives and made the ultimate sacrifice serving the people of the state of New York, and we think it's those guys that deserve the real round of applause this afternoon. Folks, you've been awesome. We appreciate you sticking through the heat, squinting into the sun. I know it's not the greatest circumstances, but we appreciate you joining us. Feel free to come forward after the show. We'll answer questions, got stickers for the kids, we'll pose for pictures, tasteful of course. We've got the museum and the interactive displays, both very interesting and air-conditioned. And we've got the NYST and Trooper Foundation for all your state police swag. Thanks again for coming out, folks, and enjoy the rest of your day at the great New York State Fair.